Hi everyone, this is Marwan Bouali. So my colleague, Dr. Carolini Tresman-Cairo, who's also senior scientist at ORBTY, is currently a little busy with in-field work, so I'm giving this presentation on her behalf. So the context of this presentation is the increasing demand from the user community for satellite products with spatial consistency rather than statistical accuracy. And typically in the literature, two questions are usually addressed. The first one is, where are the ocean biological fronts located? And the second one is, how are these fronts evolving at seasonal, annual, and decadal scales? So the goal of this presentation is not really to address these questions, but rather show that the answer to these questions is very dependent on the satellite products that we select. Now, as you know, the MODIS mission on board Aqua and Terra has been acquiring data for more than 20 years, so the data continuity of MODIS should really help us improve the understanding of ocean dynamics. And in fact, NASA's Ocean Biology Processing Group has been distributing several Level 3 products aggregated at different temporal resolutions, 3 days, weekly, monthly, annual. So in this study, we decided to investigate the differences between these products distributed by OBPG and similar products generated with ORBTY's multidimensional dynamic data fusion system. Now, as mentioned in another poster related to the M3DFS, time averaging leads to patchiness in the data, which is also known as feature artifacts, and this is going to compromise any downstream application, especially the detection of fronts. So here's an example of a level 3 map representing SST for the month of June of last year, distributed by NASA OBPG, and here's the same map generated with the M3DFS. At a first glance, these appear to be very similar to each other, but then we compute the magnitude of SST gradients, and we notice that there are, in fact, clear differences. Some features disappear, and other ones are perfectly preserved. So one thing to point out here is that there are many contributing factors to these artifacts, including the true temporal variability of SST, which, unlike the other factors, we can't really do much about. If anything, we are trying to represent a continuous process using very limited sampling. And well, since these artifacts have signature in the spatial domain, surely they're going to affect the temporal variability of observed SST gradients. So here are the time series of SST gradients for almost the entire MODIS mission, derived from NASA's OBPG Level 3 monthly SST, and the time series for the gradients computed on the M3DFS Level 3. And what we see is that there's quite a difference in the magnitude of SST gradients, even when they are averaged over the entire globe. And this difference, which is due to artifacts, is not only of the order of 50%, as we can see on the right panel, but it actually displayed quite a clear seasonal cycle. So, in summary, from a user perspective, it's quite risky to use a time-averaged SST or chlorophyll concentration product to study ocean dynamics, because a substantial portion of the observed gradients is actually due to artifacts and not just ocean dynamics. If you're interested in the 20 years of monthly level 3 SST or chlorophyll concentration from either Terra or Aqua MODIS for the period from 2003 to 2023, this dataset is actually available upon request. I should also mention that we've recently partnered up with Esri, and we're working with them to archive and distribute some of the data sets generated with the M3DFS via the Esri's ArcGIS marketplace. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch.